and good morning. Welcome to our presentation on Pinoyathletics 1500 meter virtual women's event held August 28th, 29th, brought to you by Pinoyathletics and sponsor Massive Sports, who provides quality apparel to Filipino athletes in the national team and in the university leagues across a number of various sports. Check out Massive Sports Facebook page for some great deals on quality apparel. Okay. Also remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hit the subscribe button. So we now have a custom channel at youtube.com, Pinoyathletics20, to make things a little bit easier to find us. So don't forget to hit the subscribe button after this video. So firstly, we'll be going through the women's open entries. We have 4 women. The category for women is born in the year 2001 and before. So we have 4 women representing the event. We need a minimum of 3 to divide into categories. So the winner of the women's division will be receiving apparel from our sponsors at Massive Sports. We have UAAP medalist Maria Sarmiento, PMA Estenoa, Femia Ib, and the very famous Laika Jana, who appeared on GMA Sports with 151,000 TikTok followers representing San Pablo. Moving into the women's junior event, which has a huge number of entries, we are represented by all parts of the Philippines with athletes from the Western Visayas, athletes from Luzon, one from Pangasinan, and a lot from Laguna. We also have athletes from Capiz and athletes from CDO and Mindanao joining this event. Some of the key athletes to note here is Palaro finalist Edna Magtubo, who is a Palaro finalist in the middle distance event, and also Erica Ruto, who is better known as a 400-meter runner, with some outstanding achievements in the Badang Pinoy, who won the 1,000-meter event a few weeks ago at our last virtual meet. So moving on to our next screen, the women's 1500 meters Philippine ranking lists for 2021. So one reason we decided to have a 1500 meters is because there is hardly any athletes who have registered a time in the 1500 meters this year. So the event really did need some help. We have 3 athletes on the Philippine ranking lists for 2021. Mia Galurgan, who is based in Australia, a time of 5:02.69. From Tuolongo parents, Galurgan has the world record for 11-year-olds in the 5,000 meters with 17:41, which would have been good enough to place 3rd at the last Southeast Asian Games. She was born in the Philippines, so as she is still a minor, she's still eligible for the Philippine ranking list. But once she hits that age of 18, she will need a Philippine passport in order to be eligible for future Philippine ranking lists. Also ranked, we have Maria Sarmiento and Pauline Dyson, who both registered their times at the Pinoy Athletics Track League in Butuan on the 23rd of May 2021. We have a ceiling mark of 5 minutes, meaning that if we get if the 10th place is already ahead of that, then we will rank more than 10 athletes. But while the 10th place is slower than the ceiling mark of 5 minutes, we will only, we will maximally only rank 10 athletes. We've only got 3 ranked, so there are 7 more vacant slots in that ranking list. Back in 2019, we had 13 athletes actually go under 5 minutes prior to COVID. Okay, so for the men's entry list, The deadline for the men is September 2, and the event is September 4 to 5. In the lineup, we have Alvin Neri, the UAAP record holder in the 800 meters. We have John Gracia from CDO. We have Benji Duhak with a personal best of 4:15, who has opened with 4:20 at the Mindanao Track League in Butuan back in April. Ralph Gagnagill of Dasmariñas, Jeric Mendoza of Malolos with 4:15.07, Patrick Salceno of Bulacan Malolos, and we also have Alfrense Braza, who won the last 1,000 meter event with us, and also is the Palaro record holder of the 1500 with the 4:01, and also his teammate Roger Naguaya, also from Iloilo, representing CPU Athletics. The junior men's has a number of entries as well, and as the men's and the junior men's entry list hasn't closed yet, we expect to see more entries flood in the next week. We have the following athletes entered in the junior men's. We have Daryl Alino, Salapis, Naboa, Nunez, Velado, and 5 athletes from Team Escalar who are better known as sprinters but trying their luck over the 1500. The entry list in this event seems to have no clear favourite, so it will be interesting, but that could all change if more entries will flood in. So the cutoff for the juniors is born 2002, January 1 and after, and we are well represented with athletes from all 3 parts of the country, Mindanao, Visayas and Luzon, in this event. And the men's 1500 meter ranking list for 2021. All right, so our ceiling mark is 410, which nobody has passed yet. So the ceiling mark is if the 10th place, more than 10 athletes are past that time, they are safely secured on the ranking lists. But we keep, truncating or, like moving people off the ranking list until we get athletes down up to 410. And with 3 months left, I'm unsure if we're going to go past that 410, but let's see what happens. So in order to be eligible for this ranking list, the athletes either need to be born in the Philippines, or if they are not born in the Philippines, they need to present a Filipino passport to be eligible to be listed on the ranking lists. Okay, and that also goes for Philippine records as well. Now, the time for the ranking list at the moment is only 4:42, and there will be 2 vacant slots beneath that as well. So we're expecting to see some serious changes in these rankings. And I believe that is all for that section. Now I will be presenting the next part, which okay, I've covered most of it, but I'll just go through now. So regarding the hosting of this virtual event, due to the numbers of track ovals closed and the allowing of running on roads and NCR from 6 to 9 a.m. in the morning in a 5-kilometre radius of residence, we will allow performances to be on the road. We also require videos to moderate performances. Performances will be eligible for the Philippine ranking lists. We've already covered that. Purposes and guidelines. We want to advise that participants operate within the COVID restriction rules of their local government units and observe safety from traffic and social distancing if running on the road. The purpose of this event is to help local coaches uplift the spirits of their athletes, as many have been out of competition due to pandemic restrictions. Pinoyathletics and their partner groups are committed to providing quality virtual meets to the athletic community of the people of the Philippines to ensure the survival of the sport. Okay, so women entries are now closed, but men entries are still open. We require the following for the entries: athlete name, date of birth, gender, team name, with location of where they will run, when they will run, best 1500 meter time if known, please email the following details to pinoyathletics@gmail.com. Now, I'll be creating a Facebook group to better communicate with the entries, and thus that concludes our podcast for today on the event. Thanks everyone for tuning in, and take care.